How do you define luxury today, luxury travel today? Does it really still revolve around the amenities and products provided, or is it, as we all know, the experiences? And how has that definition changed? Anybody want to start? Sure. Ignacio?
I would argue that the idea of luxury travel has changed more in the last 10 to 15 years than in the previous 100. Mm-hmm. I think before we had a very defined absolute idea of what luxury was. It was a Rolls Royce, it was Cartier, it was certain very specific things. But today, I think luxury is personal, it's individual. Everybody has a different idea of what luxury is. And as travel sellers, the most important thing we have to do is we have to get to know our customer, to understand where are their passions and what are their interests and what is it that will create a sense of wonder. So it is much broader, so that's one great opportunity. The challenge is that how do you create luxury when every customer has a different idea of what it is?
Yeah.
I think in this industry, we've learned to basically follow Ignacio's lead. Whenever he speaks, we all say he's right and move on. But in this case, he truly is right.
Because Ignacio has been everywhere in the world to every luxury hotel that I know of, right?
Well, you need to get out more, James.
We all do compared to you, Ignacio.
But truly, he is right, because luxury it completely assumes that there's a price of entry, and the tangible things that we knew in the past to be luxury are all going to be there, but it goes well beyond that, and it is incredibly personalized. And personalized doesn't just mean salutations and first and last names. It means giving people the freedom to be themselves in the experience, which is the new currency of luxury.
I think there's one thing there's one thing that hasn't changed. And that is, luxury has always meant craftsmanship and flawless execution, whether it's a Rolex or whether it's an experience. And really, that's what we focus on at Tauck. We're a bit different than most of the other panelists in the sense that we don't own any hardware. We don't own any hotels, and we don't own any riverboats. So what we do is we manufacture experiences. And so in order to really craft something, it takes time, and on average, I don't think people realize that it takes almost 2 years for us to build one single itinerary. And there are teams of people that do it. It begins with the visionaries. We call them our product development team. And they go out and they look at the world and say, how do I tell the story of that destination? What do I need to tell the story? And then we partner with people like Navin to make sure that we have the best means of transportation and the best means of lodging, wonderful hotels. And then our visionaries turn that kind of idea over to the engineers. Those are our product operations team. And then once that's all put together, then we have to have value. So we've got a whole team of negotiators that go out there and make sure that nobody's overpaying. We pay what we need to pay, but nobody wants to pay too much. And then finally, when that's all done, we actually run it 2 or 3 times empty with our staff to make sure that we have flawless execution. And then we go live with our tour directors, and they become sort of the maestros that go out there and deliver the product and make sure that everything is moving the way it should. Not only with the plan that they have, but plan A, plan B, plan C, and plan D, because nothing ever goes completely right the first time. And then we continue to hone it and tweak it until it gets better and better and better and becomes actually a better experience over time rather than getting old.
So you thought luxury was easy. So
No,
Gail, you had...
And that's what I'll add on to that, because as Ignacio says, everything is individualized, but what's really changed as well in terms of the definition of luxury over the last decade versus the last 100 years is that the world is far more global. And so you think about what you considered luxury years ago, and you might have talked about something in London or in Paris because the world wasn't completely open. And now you're talking about going to trek gorillas through Uganda, or going on a safari through Africa, or whatever the case might be. And you might not have considered years and years ago, when you were talking about a luxury vacation, that you were going to go camping in a tent. And of course, the definition of what's camping in a tent now versus
Glamping.
Yeah, glamping in a tent, right? And so I just think that adds to the complexity, and it adds, quite frankly, it adds to the relevance of the travel agent, because they not only need to understand the individual that they're speaking to in terms of their definition of luxury, but yet keep on top of what all the trends are and what destinations are there and what experiences are there that will suit the needs of the individual person.
Okay, I want to get to Ted, and then we're going to get to Ignacio has something to add here. So Ted?
Yeah, thank you, James. You know, I used to think that luxury was space and amenities and fit and finish and all of the things, you know, that Navin says.
Now it's just sleep, right?
Now to me, luxury is time. It's
you're right.
time, and it's like Rick was saying, it's a seamless experience. It's all the hassles taken out of it. So that's what we try to deliver, is away from the madding crowd.
Yeah, and if you've ever cruised lower Mississippi with nothing around you, that's a lot of time. It's very nice. And Ignacio, you got time?
Yeah, just a couple of things. I think that one thing that we all have to keep in mind when we're talking about luxury travel is a sense of authenticity, a sense of place. And I think that travelers are willing to go literally to the ends of the earth, provided that they can have an experience that they won't have anyplace else. I mean, there is nothing that can convey the wonder of being in Antarctica surrounded by thousands and thousands of penguins and absolutely nothing else except the water, the ice, and the wildlife.
Which you just did, right, this past year? Yeah.
Well, I did a long time ago, but believe me, it was very memorable. Or a place like Bhutan, which 20 years ago nobody talked about Bhutan, and today it is one of the most sought after destinations by sophisticated travelers. So I think if there is something at the other end that is special and authentic and true and real, and I'm not going to find any place else, people will gravitate towards that.
Yeah,
Just to assure all of you, this is not a collusion. We are the leader in Antarctica as a cruise company, and he keeps teeing these things up beautifully. But I think it underscores a point, and the point is that you cannot deliver luxury without some basics that are very tangible. After you've gone through mud, ice, and penguin droppings, you really do want to come to a spa like Sotheby's on a ship and get yourself refreshed. You do want to use the Hermes amenities and drink Veuve Clicquot champagne and eat Ducas's food on a ship like ours. People have come to expect that.
Okay,
But
Ted?
well beyond that is a connection with the people you're traveling with. You do want to be around like-minded people, and if you're not, no amount of solace, solitude, serenity, etc., will inspire you. You do need, at the end of the day, to have this be a social experience on and off the tour or ship that you're on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, Ted?
And I would underscore what Ignacio said as well. It's about access, it's about authenticity, it's about getting behind the scenes and giving those travelers access to things that they could not themselves otherwise put together. I was on a cruise recently, and we had 4 people from Australia, New Zealand, somewhere, and they came back to the boat saying, wow, the price of the experience of the shore excursion was worth the price of the entire cruise, because there was no way they could have come to this country, gone, behind the scenes, had that experience, met those people, and that's the memory they take home.
Absolutely. No.